Now may I start the next session, that is inviting guest of honor and chief guest of the today's function for the World Education Conference 2021. We are very privileged to have today as a chief guest Sri Manish Sisodiya ji, a Deputy Chief Minister and Honorable Minister of Education, Government of Delhi, NCT. As a Education Minister, Mr. Sisodiya ji doubled the budgetary allocation to the education at almost 25% of the entire state budget. And this was a historic step. Sisodiya ji has gained a reputation around the country as one of the best education administrators and educationists in government. And he has candidly given a detailed account of this journey as an education minister in his book, Shiksha, My Experiments as an Education Minister. It is Mr. Sisodiya's vision that he has resulted in path-breaking innovations such as a mentor, teacher program, mission, Bunyad, happiness curriculum, and entrepreneurship mindset curriculum. He has been awarded a finest education minister in 2017 and champions for change in 2019. Mr. Sisodiya was one of the India's foremost right to information activists, having co-founded the non-profit Kabir and had a successful career in journalism spanning a decade. So we have such a luminary amongst us as a chief guest. May I now request a great educational minister and the leader, Sri Manish Sisodiya ji, to address this conference as a chief guest.
Thank you, Dr. Maitre, and especially thank you to Akram Haq Bhai for inviting me to this World Education Conference. It's my pleasure to be here, connecting online to the educationist of the world. As an education minister of Delhi, I always feel privileged to participate in such meetings, to meet educationists from around the world, understand the different perspectives about the education, and then try to fix the problems in Delhi. This is an opportunity for me to understand from so many educationists around the world who are discussing, trying to understand the education systems, and then brainstorming, and then trying to implement something. And here, as a responsible minister for education in Delhi, I am keen to learn from this conference also. And that's why my curiosity to learn more, to meet more people, to understand what people are doing, what educationists are thinking. As a politician, it's very important for me to understand the educationist's point of view. Congratulations for the wonderful event. These events are very important, especially at a time when the world is almost trying to come out from the pandemic phase, when everybody is trying to struggle how to bring back the education on track, and especially at a time when vaccine is just, you can say, at the door of is at our gates. We are ready to welcome the vaccine. It's high time that we discuss the education in terms of post-COVID school system, post-COVID education also, in terms of new education policy also. So when we talk about Delhi, we have been trying to do few things in Delhi. I would like to share some of my understanding, but whatever I will say and whatever I'll present here, let me tell you, because people in this conference, many of the people I also know, but I assume many and maximum people who are attending this conference are having a lot of experience in the sector of education. I am not an educationist. I am a politician. I am a public representative. So whatever I say here should be taken as an experience or maybe experiments of a public representative. I am not saying anything on behalf of educationists, because people who understand education are educationists. I come from the public. I understand the need of the public. I understand the pain of the public, that public is. So I have represented that on my chair also, and I would like to say something here in this conference also on behalf of that authority that is given to me. So anything that contradicts to the principles of education, that is considered uh, not to be so effective, or maybe not as per the protocols of education, I may be excused uh, by being a by a public representative. Most importantly, I would like to talk here is about the new education policy. It is talking about a lot of good things. Many educationists have been talking about early childhood education, uh, the education which is more prompt, which is more understanding, which is more prone to understanding rather than rote learning, which makes people more effective, critical thinking, and all these buzzwords of education, keywords around quality education we have been talking about, are part of our education policy, official part of our education policy. That's a good thing that has happened. I've read the education policy very carefully, and this policy is going to write the future of not only education in India but the future of the country for next generations also. So while we are excited about the new education policy, we should be mindful of the fact that two critical factors which come into play as we go about implementing are very important here. And I can share my experiences and experiments on those two critical factors. First is capacity of the education system to absorb these ideas. When we talk about critical thinking, when we talk about uh, learning outcomes, when we talk about early childhood education, when we talk about understanding rather than rote learning, these are the ideas. But is our education system ready to absorb that? Or how can we make our education system, including Directorate of Education, schools, colleges, universities, ready to absorb those? It's very important. So readiness to take bold steps is important factor, one critical factor for me. Second is the commitment of financial resources. Whatever we think, quality education needs public funding also. So commitment from the governments for financial resources is also very critical factor. As Dr. Mehta said in the introductory remarks, we started our journey in 2015 as the government, and we doubled the education budget of Delhi. It was almost 25% of the total budget of Delhi, and fortunately for last 6 years we have been running the government with limited resources, whatever limited resources, but we whenever we plan, it's approximately 25% of the total budget every year for last 6 years on education. But I would like to say that having money is one thing, but understanding and effective implementation of the policies, optimum utilization of that resources, that money is very important. So we used in Delhi this money in two ways. One is foundation of education, and then second is using education as foundation for society. So when we talk about foundation of education, the first and foremost thing that came to our notice was the infrastructure. We can talk to our teachers, we can talk to our education officers and the educationists of the city to work on quality education. But the problem was that if we are calling a student, a girl student, for say 8 hours to our school, and if we are not able to construct a toilet in that school, how can we expect the girl student or a lady teacher, or any even gents also, to be present for 6 7 hours in a building which is not even having a clean toilet, which is not even, forget about toilets, which is not even having a basic chair, basic board wall on the wall of the classroom. So all these things were there, and we worked on the infrastructure. We improved the infrastructure. We created good quality infrastructure. Why this is important? By five-star infrastructure, you can't create good schools. But in a society where one student is going to a good building of private school and the another student is going to a typically SEBI-looking government school building, the mindset that is coming out of that is very poor mindset. the confidence is always shaken for that. So that's why infrastructure was important, and that's why I consider this to be as foundation of education. I'm talking about two terms, using two terms here: foundation of education and education as foundation of the society. So infrastructure we used, we created infrastructure here. Then we came up in our second year of government. In last tenure, we came for uh, teachers training, the ambience, because I used to speak to a lot of teachers in government school, and I used to see that they are talented, they are, they know their subjects, but the problem is they are not motivated, they are not ready to do experiments. We introduced them to the world, we took them to the best of the best world education systems. We took them to Finland, to Cambridge, to US, Harvard, and you say Singapore. We asked IIM to prepare a customized school leadership program for our principals in Delhi. So it gives a lot of introspective thinking to our teachers. And after that, I can say that the training approach that we took was from local to global. On one hand, we were sending our teachers to Finland and Harvard and Singapore also, but on the other hand, we were sending our teachers to discuss with the principals and teachers of a good private school in Delhi or in other part of the country, even government schools in other part of the country. We have sent our teachers to visit good government schools across the country. They have learned from there. Our principals have spent months over there and then learned from them, and they came back and they introduced a lot of good practices here. So teachers training was one of another component of the foundation of education. And now I can say that teachers are much energized, they have some sense of belonging to the system. So this was another foundation. Then building confidence and building confidence of parents and students was also equally important for us. Why it was there? Because most of the time we saw here that the schools were not ready to talk to parents. And the general concept was that if some parents are sending their wards to government school, that means they are not able to send their kids to private schools. This was the overall scenario. We took some time to break the ice, but then we started parent teacher meetings. Though parent teacher meeting, if we come from a private school background or a good successful school background, we can think that what is new in it. We all have private parent teacher meetings, but yes, many a times, especially in Delhi government school, it was just a paper system. Parents were hardly meeting once in a year to the teachers, or they were not able to meet them. So we opened our school doors for the parents, we invited them, we offer, and especially we made it a celebration. We called it Mega PTM. The first meeting I remember, we named it Mega Parent Teacher Meeting. We gave instructions to all our schools that when parents come, उनको टीका वीका लगा के उनका स्वागत करना, offer them a cup of tea in the school first before taking them to the classroom, then escort them to the classroom, right classroom of their ward. So this dignity, this respect they felt first time when while being in the school of their ward. That was a different experience for them, and they thought that yes, this school system has some respect for us. This another sense of belongingness came as foundation of education. Same with the students. We did a lot of curriculum and training changes. As a result, again part of the foundation of education, as a result, the result of government schools improved a lot. Earlier it used to be the class 12 results used to be around 80%. It reached 98%. That gave a lot of confidence. Then subsequently, many of our students studying in government school without having proper Vidya Mandir or you name it, those big coaching classes for NEET and JEE examinations crossed JEE and NEET examinations. This year only, one single government school has given five students to IIT through JEE without any coaching. Out of 80 students of that one school have gone to, 5 of them have gone to IIT, have been selected in JEE for IIT. Many of them have been selected for other universities and colleges also under engineering. Same in many of our schools, out of 80 girls, In one school, 33 girls crossed NEET examination. In one school, 28 crossed. In one school, 23 girls crossed NEET examination, which was a big success for a girl who is coming from a background where her mother is a maid, or where her father or his father, they are doing iron under the streets. So this was a big change in the concept of government school education system. But getting good infrastructure, getting good teacher training, getting good confidence of parents, and then getting 98% result, sending students to JEE and NEET is not the ultimate target of education. For me, the ultimate target of education is and would be to use education as foundation for the country, to use education as foundation for the society. So that is our second step that we are working. 2 years back, we launched a curriculum called, 3 years back rather, we launched a curriculum called Happiness Curriculum, where we are making a child emotionally sound. This is a nursery to 8th grade program. Every day, the first period of our school is happiness period. There we teach how to see your emotions, how to understand, not control, not regulate, understand your emotions. That has been the Indian legacy for thousands of years, that we have understood the emotional science and we have worked upon it. But unfortunately, this understanding of emotional science went out of the syllabus and it became spiritual or rituals, and all these things took place. Somehow it got lost. Now we have introduced understanding of emotions without any caste, creed, religion, or spiritual practices. We have introduced this happiness curriculum where every student is, in every day, every student starts his or her day with 5 minutes of mindfulness. Then there is 40 minutes happiness class where there are a lot of activities, then understanding, then group discussions about happiness, emotions, and positive well-being. So this is bringing a lot of change in the students of nursery to 8th grade. But when these students are going for senior secondary classes, when they are planning to enter professional world, they are preparing themselves to go to ITI or IIT, there we are making them sound on professional, on their professional understanding. Here we have introduced another curriculum called entrepreneurship mindset curriculum. I would like to emphasize on the mindset. It's not the entrepreneurship curriculum. It is entrepreneurship mindset curriculum. We are working on the professional mindset of the student from grade 9, 10, 11, 12th. Every day, one period on entrepreneurship mindset curriculum. We are teaching here that whatever you want to be, be. You want to become a CEO of the company, work on that. You want to become an IS officer or advocate or journalist or professor, be that, prepare for that. But be an entrepreneur at your mindset. Entrepreneur mindset is important. Entrepreneurs are important, but more than that, entrepreneurship mindset is important. So that is another thing. We are using education to lay the foundation of the society and the country. The third intervention that I would introduce is Deshbhakti curriculum that we are working. It's not about, we say, typical patriotism curriculum. It's about understanding and loving your surroundings, loving your society, loving your nature, loving your country, loving your systems, and loving the people around you, irrespective of caste, creed, religion. How can you respect? How do you respect? That we are taking as a challenge, though it's under consider. This curriculum is being framed and we are working. We invite a lot of educationists are involved in this conference. I would invite everybody or all the people who are interested in helping us to develop these curriculums. We are working on that. Finally, as changing the scenario of education, one important intervention that we are working in Delhi is about assessment, change in assessment patterns. Whatever we write in our curriculum or textbooks, whatever we write in our learning outcome and policy, but the ultimate driver of the education is our examination system. The way we test our students, the teacher teaches in the classroom following that pattern. Whatever we write in our books and generic and policy, nobody reads that. Everybody reads the question paper of last 5 years. The entire ambience, the entire mahal of the classroom depends the delivery of the classroom of the content depends not on the learning outcomes described in the chapter, not in the policy. It only depends on the question papers asked in last 5 to 10 years. That is very important to understand. So हमारे हिंदी में कहते हैं ना, राजा की जान तोते में बसती थी। तो वो तोता जो है पूरी शिक्षा सिस्टम का, वो एजुकेशन सिस्टम है, एग्जामिनेशन सिस्टम है। अगर हमने एग्जामिनेशन सिस्टम को ठीक कर लिया तो हमारी एजुकेशन दुरुस्त होती चली जाएगी। अगर हमने असेसमेंट सिस्टम, एग्जामिनेशन सिस्टम को ठीक नहीं किया तो हम कोई भी पॉलिसी बना लें, कोई भी इंटरवेंशन कर लें, नथिंग इज गोइंग टू चेंज इनसाइड द क्लासरूम एंड इनसाइड द माइंडसेट एंड the life. So we are working on that. We are setting up a new board in Delhi for assessment, which fundamentally we are trying to eliminate, to do away with the conventional method of assessment, that is 3-year examination after 1 year, and thus assess the student, examine the student and declare him pass or fail based on that 3-year examination and 3-year performance, which is not justified for the 1 year of understanding. So we are trying to change that. Here also, this is under consideration. This is a work under process. I would request all the people who are keen to work on it, who have understanding, who have experience on this, I would like to invite them to work, all of you to work with Delhi government to set up that stage and set up that thing also. To conclude, I can say that the student who is coming to us for 20 years, we have to visualize education for the person who is going out of education system after 21 years or 20 years. We have to give a better citizen, a better professional and better human being to the country, to the world, to the nature, to the society. For that we are working. So entire pattern, entire exercise of 20 years is to give a better qualified professional and citizen to the country. We are trying to make some intervention. Few have been worked upon, few are being worked upon. I would request this August gathering here, online gathering, to help us to make this more effective, to make this more successful. With this, I would like to end here. Thank you very much for inviting me as a guest here. It was my pleasure to be here and speak.